Welcome back to the Higher View podcast, the podcast dedicated to the creative, the outside thinker, and the believer. My name is Jonathan. I am your host, and today we are doing our special segment of Gray Area. Taking a little break from the marriage series and interrupting the program with a gray area. Today I have a very special friend. He's come in from out of town, drove a good while to get here. To the DFW. This is one of my close brothers. Met him at the church. He's one of the youngins that I've helped out a lot, and I've just seen him grow so much. And I couldn't be more proud of this dude and how much he's done and where he's at with God and all that he's doing. So today, I'm excited to introduce to you Mr. Christian.
Yo, appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
This gray area is going to include how you can go through a lot in a short amount of time and kind of get matured in a very fast way. Sometimes life can hit you like that. So we're going to talk about that. I feel like me and Christian have both had similar experiences in life where we had to get matured very quickly in life because of what we've gone through. So today we're just going to go through a little bit of his story, get a little peek about what he's gone through and how he was raised and all the things that has brought him to be the man that he is today. So Christian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, and just a little bit about, how you were raised.
Yeah. Well, my whole life was a great area, boy. Let me tell you. Like, I was raised in the church, and by my grandma, bro, she would grab me by the head, take me to church. I hated it. So I hated God. Like, people get church hurt because they hate people instead of God,
Yeah.
So I started my journey there at church, and ever since then, bro, I knew who God was, but I didn't know who God was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel that.
Like,
definitely feel that.
She raised me up pretty good to be in the church, you know what I'm saying? Pentecostal church, just like one we had yesterday.
Okay. That's how you were raised.
Yeah, bro, screaming. Oh my God, spirit moving, people falling, they putting blankets over people.
Yeah, that's the kind of church I was into.
Bro, like, it scared me, bro. I was like, dang, demons will manifest.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. But that was normal to me. Yet somehow, like, later on, I still question God, like, are you real? Like, somehow, some way, like, it's crazy how the enemy worked in me like that.
Yeah.
And one thing I like to say, the devil doesn't stop at any age, like, for any people.
For sure.
Any age, any person. Like, I was a little kid, bro, going through it. Like I was saying, grew up in the church. And, like, as time went on, like I said, I hated God. So I grew far from the church because of that. But later on, that would save my life. Like, my grandma making me go to church.
Yeah.
Bro, that saved my life, bro, later on. Because I knew where to go. But
Gave you your foundation.
bro,
They laid it in you.
literally, like they were saying yesterday at church, how, like, there's somebody lit this fire for you.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to put stuff in it to really let it keep growing.
Yeah.
And light some for other people.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like, that's beautiful. He was screaming it at me, but I felt it with love.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, bro, I just kept going through life. And then middle school came. And I found this my girlfriend, right? And I made her my life. I didn't have God, so I had to put my heart in something. So I put it in her. And then when she left, bro, oh my gosh, I was a mess, bro. I'm talking about depression, like suicidal thoughts. It was terrible, bro.
Wow.
Like the enemy was doing a number on me. And he used a girl to get to me. That's why I hate women now. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
She gonna come, bro. I promise.
I hopefully, but not after that.
So at this time, you said your grandparents took you to church?
Yeah, bro.
So were your parents Christian too?
Nah.
They weren't Christian? Okay.
My mama was Christian, but she was taking me to, like, no diss to my mama. I love you so much. But she was taking me to like dances and stuff, to parties, bro. I was that little kid that was sleeping on someone's bed. Like, that was me sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
At someone's random house, something like that. So, like, ever since then, I thought it was cool to smoke, to drink, because they had a cigarette and they had beer. I'm like, I can't wait till I could do that, bro.
Right,
like,
yeah.
when do I get to do that?
Yeah.
And that put a desire in me. Seeing, like, things around me put a really, like, a bad desire in me.
Yeah.
And I wanted that. And, like, that stuck in me for a little bit. It was like a seed, right? Slowly growing. That the devil was like the devil could water plants too, can't
Yeah,
he?
absolutely. It was a bad seed planted.
bro. And he was cultivating that, even though I was in the church.
Yeah.
But one thing good I heard is like the devil has been in the holiest place. Why would he be scared to be in a church? I'm saying, like, he was in heaven.
That's crazy.
Like, what's so scary about a church for him now? That's here full of Christians that really ain't Christians for real, following God.
Yeah. It's
So, like,
nothing.
bro, literally. So he was like working in me while I was going to church too. But when I was in middle school, I completely left the faith, bro. I wasn't
Kind of
walking with God.
went off the rails.
Yeah.
So middle school, you were how old when you kind of started to do your own thing?
That's a good question. I don't remember
Like
because
13, 14?
I think, yeah, like probably like 13, 14. I used to smoke a lot, so it's very foggy, bro.
I definitely
Very
feel that, bro.
foggy.
We have a similar story, bro. I
Yeah.
think I kind of went on the same age, kind of went off the rails, started to do my own thing. And still, me too. Like, I was raised in church.
Yeah.
Same thing. But it was the bad seeds that got into my life and my surroundings that really influenced me to,
Yeah.
I just want to do my own thing now. you know?
Oh. But yeah, I started smoking in middle school, bro, because of what was happening. Even when we were together with that girl, like all them bad seeds that were planted, I was just smoking. I loved it. At that time, I moved to Dallas, here, and that's when I met a lot of my bad friends, for real, and we just started getting into more trouble, and grew farther away from God. And one thing I remember, bro, that's so vivid in my memory, like Eric, my best friend, right? My parents used to have this alcohol bar upstairs, like this bar upstairs full of liquor and stuff like that. I used to grab one, bro, just go to my closet and start sipping crazy, bro. Like,
Dang, bro.
sometimes to where I would throw up, bro.
Wow.
Like, crazy amounts. And Eric told me this one time. I never believed him, but now I do. He told me I called him while I was drunk. And this is middle school, bro. And he said that I was telling him, like, the devil surrounded me, like, there's spirits, this and that.
Wow.
And what I remember in that moment, before I blacked out, I guess, was I was just telling God, you not real, this and that, yada, yada, yada. Like, F you, yeah. And then I blacked out. And then he told me that. And he was like, yeah, I had to invite you to church, boy. I had to get you to church. I told my mom I didn't know what to do. Like, let's invite him to church. And since then, like, I started falling in love with the church.
Yeah.
I didn't know who God was for real, but, like, it's
The
like,
environment got you.
bro, like, you could feel his spirit, I
Yeah.
guess. And I didn't even know it was a spirit.
Yeah.
I was just being pulled towards it.
You were just connecting with something. It was what it was is those seeds were starting to get watered again.
Yeah.
From a child.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And it took a while for those bad seeds to die. Bad. But God has been merciful to me, bro. Merciful. I have done the worst thing. Like, me and him have been on and off for so long, bro. Like, a long time. You know, like, I grew up in the church, so it's like we have a bad marriage, bro. It feels
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, we break up, get back together, but he never leaves me. He never divorced me. He's always been there.
Yeah.
And that's what's beautiful, bro. Despite all I've done, how much I've smoked, like, he's been there
Yeah.
the whole time.
I think something important that you said even while you were in church, you're still getting these bad seeds planted.
Yeah.
The devil isn't scared to be in a church of lukewarm
Bro.
Christians, bro. That's a place where he can manifest the most because we feel the safest.
Yeah.
You know, and I would argue to say like we're the most vulnerable in that place. So yeah, I think definitely that's definitely an area that people have to be aware of.
Yeah.
That's just something that we have to keep in conscious. As you were kind of growing up and kind of going through these crazy seasons of smoking and drinking, pretty much just trying to fit in, right? Because you saw it as a kid. You're like, dang, I can't wait until I could do that.
Yeah.
I want to fit in like that. I want to be cool. I want to feel cool, right?
Yeah, I felt pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I definitely know, bro. I know how it is. Like, I definitely know what you mean. I had a very similar season of like, I just want to fit in.
Yeah.
So I want to do all this stuff because I just want to fit in. So, but when you're going through all this, did you ever feel convicted? Did you ever feel like the war between like your spirit and like God trying to call you back, or were you just like straight ignoring God at that time?
Honestly, since he attacked me so young, I didn't know what was what. So I didn't feel nothing. If anything, I just felt numb.
Wow.
I thought, this is just life. Like, when we die, we die. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing after this. Like, this is how life's gonna be the rest of my life. Like, I really thought that like this pain will last forever. This loneliness, this emptiness will be for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So I literally thought to myself, like, why not just end it here? Like, and then what? Like, people just gonna miss me for like a couple years, and then, you know what I'm saying, move on, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But something kept holding me on, and now I know it was God. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I thought I was just too scared to, but it was God that whole time.
Yeah.
And I want to touch back on like what you were saying.
Yeah.
About how like the devil could be in like places like the church.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of my homies, shout out to him, but I ain't trying to throw him under the bus or nothing. But like the devil was using this shout out to her, she's a beautiful woman for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like using this woman in that church, like to get the men in that church, you know what I'm saying? To like mess with them, mess with their hearts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and he be telling me these things. I'm like, brother, like open your eyes, gang. Like, she getting you. Can't you see this? He's like, I see it, bro, but I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the devil works. Like, even when you do see it, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And that's how I was. Like, I could see what I was doing, being depressed, being sad, but I just couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, one scripture I read that touched me was like, people loved the darkness more than the light. And that's why, I loved the darkness, bro. Even though it made me so depressed, so sad, so all of that, I loved it, bro. I couldn't get it. It was like the darkness was a drug in itself.
Yeah.
Something
that I've learned recently is, and this is like my personal not testimony, but my personal perspective, because it's not in the Bible or anything like that. I mean, you can translate it probably into this, but most people, right? Because we're all human. Most people live 90% in the flesh, and 10% in the spirit.
That's good.
But how we should be living is 90% the spirit and 10% the flesh. Sometimes feeding our flesh instead of sometimes feeding our spirit. And that's why I feel like the Bible talks about how, we enjoy sin. Like we have a sinful nature. We enjoy like feeding our flesh. Yeah. Because that's literally like our DNA. That's what's in us. We can't escape that. So it's something that I've really had to check myself on. Am I walking in my flesh more than my spirit right now? Because if I am, then I'm living in flesh. I'm not walking in the way that I should be walking. So I have to check myself and make sure that I'm not enjoying feeding my flesh more than I'm enjoying feeding my spirit.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, bro.
That's one thing I've been learning too, to like die to your flesh, like fast, bro. And bro, recently I started fasting too, like a couple months ago. I started fasting for the wrong reasons. I'm like, God, I'm gonna fast so you can give me this, and this. Like, and then I was going through it, right? And then I'm like what's like, I didn't feel right, And then I opened the Bible, and like God speaks through His Word, bro.
Absolutely.
And I opened to a chapter talking about fasting. So I'm like, all right, you probably trying to tell me something, bro. And He was telling me like, I don't care about sacrifices. Like, if anything, like what I do care about is like take care of the elderly, feed the poor. That's the fasting I truly want. I was like, word, like, so I still kept fasting. I just switched my mind on it. Took it from a different approach. Like, okay, God, I don't care about, getting better at music, doing this, you know what I'm saying? Like this anointing, even though that's good, I was just telling God, I want to get closer to you now.
Yeah.
That's
the whole point right there, bro.
But yeah.
That's the whole point. A reconnection, rekindle.
Yeah.
It's really that reality check to your flesh. Like you're not in charge is what you're saying. Yeah. That's the whole thing of fasting, is telling your flesh that you're not in charge. But I know so you were in high school when we met, right? Yeah. So we met at the house at our church. Let's see, how many years ago was that? Man,
3 years? That was not 3. Dang, bro.
I mean, you're 21 now.
Dang.
Right?
Yeah.
So how many years ago was that?
I was senior year. So
you were 18.
18. Dang, bro.
About 3 years, yeah.
Man, smoking has taken a lot out of me, bro. That's bad.
That's all right, bro. You're gonna regenerate. You'll be good.
Hopefully, I heard these brain cells don't regenerate, my brother. That's what I heard.
Hey, there's nothing impossible, bro. Anything is possible. So we met 3 years ago. I remember at the time, I don't really remember how we met. I think I met you with Christian. Christian. I'm sorry. I always get you two mixed up.
Yeah.
Always, ever since day one. Eric.
Mm.
I think I said that earlier too. I called
Bro.
him Christian. But I saw you with Eric, and I think Eric came up to me and was telling me about you. I think that's how I first like heard about you.
Yeah.
But then I met you, and we started like chopping it up, just talking about life. And I remember you telling me like some things that you were going through at the time. And I would both of you guys, I would we would just have conversations, and I'd try to help wherever I can. You know, with the experience that I have. And she has another sock.
You did,
Hey,
but she's
come on,
good
bro.
at what she do.
Stop getting socks, bro. She's really good at what she does. But I remember meeting you, and I remember like going to war for you, bro. I remember back in the day,
Appreciate
I
that,
really
bro.
I really felt you hurting. You know, there was like a strong hunger to get better, and it was almost like I just can't.
Yeah, literally, bro.
And that's what I read off you, bro. And I remember you going through that. I remember texting you, asking how you're doing, and you're just like, not good, bro. I'm not doing good. And I remember there was just times where I'd pray for you back then, and I would hope that, you know, you would make the right decision, because I knew that you knew, because off the conversations that we had, you knew about God. You knew about the Spirit. It was in you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, bro. I'm coming back to, you know, your story a little bit and where we are today. It's just awesome to see. And like I was telling you last night, it's awesome to see, you know, where you've come from, where you are now. You know, you're spreading the word. You're talking to other people about God, and now you're living in a lot better place. You know, none of us are ever going to be at a point where we just reach it. You know, but you're in a better place. Your heart is for God right now. Your position and your stance is in the right area. You know, you're feeding your spirit more than your flesh. Right now. You know, so it's just awesome to see, bro. It's awesome to see how much you've matured.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's really dope, bro.
Glory to God. But
Yeah,
hey, bro, you don't remember the first time we met, dude?
No, I don't. What was it?
It was in that small chapel, when youth was in that small chapel. And I remember standing there with Eric, right? And I see you looking at us like you scared to come up to us, right? But you do come up to us. And we start chopping it up, right? About football, about school, you know what I'm saying? What school y'all go to? You started dissing on Byron Nelson or that school, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're like, yeah, bro, I went to jail. I'm like, dang, brother, then how'd you get this job, bro? How you here right now, bro? But like you know what this podcast really is about, mercy, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Honestly, like for you and me, like that's the reason we here. People think you gotta like let go of things and then go to God, but really you just gotta go to God, bro.
Just gotta go to God,
and His mercy will do the rest for you.
Yeah, that's so good, bro. I've definitely had my own story in that, and I know you know a little bit about that. Me getting in trouble in high school, and that my story is absolutely nothing but mercy.
Yeah,
and at the same time, it's matured me. You know, I'm matured by mercy as well. You know, and if I didn't have God's mercy on my life, who knows where I'd be? Dead or in jail, literally. Like no exaggeration, dead or in jail. So if it wasn't for God meeting me and planting those seeds in me as I was a kid, like just like you, I would be in a complete different situation. And I'm sure you could say the same thing. Yeah. And just like yesterday, because we were at conference yesterday, just to let everybody know who's watching, we were at a conference yesterday with the church. The message that he was talking about was something that was involved in Acts. And it was talking about how Paul was going across the sea in this boat with all these prisoners that they shouldn't have gone. They went through like this whole big storm, all of this, but they reached the island called Malta, right? And Malta was the sweet place. That's what it means in Greek, the sweet place. And that's really a big testament of my story. Like I went through the storm. I went through, you know, the battle, and in the Bible, they went through 14 days without eating. You know, they struggled. They all should have been dead, you know, but they made it to the sweet place. And I can really resonate with that because I feel like I'm in my sweet place right now. I feel like sweet, I'm on Malta right now. And I've been through the storm. I went through the years of being on probation and struggling in this label that was put on my life. You know, when you catch something like that on your record, it's a label. People look at you different.
It carries on you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely feel like, you know, God's brought me through the storm. Yeah. Matured me a lot faster than I should have been matured. And, you know, we were talking about House College earlier. Like House College was the thing that catapulted me, bro. Yeah. Like I went in there how I was, confused, still
Yeah.
wondering about God. And I
Dang, you
came
brave,
out.
boy. You went straight in like that.
We did, bro. Me and Lex, we're like,
Dang.
we just want in.
Yeah, that's
We want to
good.
change. So that's what we did, bro. And it's one of those things like you get out whatever you put in. So if you dedicate your time to house college, or even if you don't do house college, really, if you dedicate your time to just like studying the word,
Yeah.
you're gonna get out a lot. You're gonna get out a lot. It's gonna transform you. That's what it does.
Yeah, God has put mercy on you, but let me
Absolutely,
tell you,
bro.
I heard your story and I was like, mine don't sound that bad.
No, bro.
Nah, I'm playing.
It's always worse. It's always somebody always got it
Bro,
worse.
yeah,
Right?
it can always get worse, bro. And one thing people don't know is that mercy does so much for us, bro. Like, that's one thing. Honestly, my whole walk, bro, like, was very up and down because I didn't understand mercy. I didn't take time to understand it, choose to it. So, like, when I would fall, I'm like, dang, it's over, God. Like, it's wraps. But really,
That's
like,
crazy.
his mercy was there at the bottom there. Like, as soon as I fell, it was right there.
Yeah.
You just got to tap into it for real.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's there for you. And that's how my whole walk has been, bro. Not knowing his mercy, bro. Like, people need to understand, like, his mercy, bro, is so good, bro. Like, it can bring you through anything. Like, we are gonna fall no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, Adam messed us up, man. As soon as we're born, like, literally, as soon as we're born, we're selfish. We have mercy as soon as we come out the womb.
That's
Like,
good.
Like, we're selfish people.
Yeah.
And I just wish people knew mercy more.
Yeah, I think if we had an understanding of what mercy doesn't look like,
Mhm.
we would really understand what mercy does look like.
Yeah.
Because having no mercy, right, that's God's wrath. That's being separated from God. It's basically hell. That's what hell is. Hell is a place where God isn't. And you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
You want to be where God is. And that's why we live on earth and we don't have to suffer. We don't have to, live away from anything that's good.
Yeah.
Anything that's good is from God. So if we have this right now, this is a good conversation. This is, we're feeling each other up right now. We're having a good conversation. It's from God. If we were away from God, we wouldn't be able to sit and chill like this.
Yeah.
And people, I've heard people's stories of how they have experiences of kind of going to hell. And I've listened to a bunch of people's different stories. So they all kind of line up. You can kind of string together the similarities of it. And a lot of it is exactly that. There's no mercy there. There's no presence of God. So when you have an understanding of what that looks like, or you kind of get a picture of what that looks like, then you finally understand, like, dang, God is actually really, really good to me. Like, because I wake up every day and I have a roof over my head, the simple things. I can put on clothes. I can go outside. I can look at the sky. I can do all these good things. And we take it for granted because it's such a there's similar things every day. They're easy things to get to. They're easy things to have. So it's very easy to take it for granted, but it's a really good, I don't know, I would almost say it's a tool. It's a tool to know how much mercy we have on our lives. It's a very, very good thing to know. And I always want to stay in a position like that. I always want to know. I always want to keep in mind that God's mercy is on my life, even if I have a bad day, bad month, bad year, whatever. I'm still not away from God, regardless of whatever. Whatever happens, I'm still not away from God. I'm still in the presence of God wherever I go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you relate to this, but it usually takes you losing everything for you to realize the mercy.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people who get saved, like, one thing my mama says is she feels so bad for people because usually it takes for their emptiness to be big. For their emptiness to be bigger than their loneliness, than their knowledge, And that's when you start looking for God. That's when you start questioning the universe. Like, okay, like, is there something bigger out there? And like you were saying, like, now I could see the birds in the sky. Because back then you didn't care about the birds in the sky. You had to lose the birds in the sky to notice the birds in the sky.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of my life. Like, I was stubborn, smoking, doing what I wanted. And I had to lose everything that I had to be able to realize the mercy was there.
Yeah.
Like, one thing, Michael Phillips, that pastor that be screaming at you.
Absolutely, bro.
He said,
that's my dude. I love that guy.
Man, he was saying, like, sometimes you gotta, like, pray to God, like let them feel the devil. You know what I'm saying? So they can know what that is and know what God is
Gotcha.
to differentiate it. You know, because
to get a taste of what it's like,
bro. Because once you hear it, you're gonna be like, I don't want to be here. Like this was actually better.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And a lot of people just like they're just in the middle. They really haven't felt this side, so they don't know what this side really is.
Yeah,
that's why being lukewarm really ain't too good for real.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the most dangerous places too. Is when you're in the middle. Because you're not on the very bad, but you're also not on the very good.
Yeah.
So you don't really know what's gonna, either side. So you're just gonna chill, and that's also an attack on people's lives. Is to stay lukewarm in a sense, because if you're lukewarm, you're comfortable. Nothing's bothering you.
Yeah.
Nothing's trying to pull you this way. Nothing's trying to tell you got to do better.
Yeah.
So that's I can't really say that I've experienced that. It's always been like you said, I've lost everything.
Yeah.
And I have to realize like, oh, I really do have it good. Like I got to chase this because I don't want to be on this side. I've never had like the lukewarm. I never had the in the middle of like, what do I even, want to do? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the bad thing?
Yeah.
So I've always been like all in, all out, and I feel like you can relate to that.
Yeah. I'm either all in with God, or boy, I'm 100% out, boy, in that world, complete darkness.
Yeah, different personalities, and God speaks to people differently.
No, yeah.
So I think He meets people in different places, in the lukewarm seasons, in the completely out seasons. I don't want nothing to do with God seasons, but I don't know. Through the Bible, it really is like that too. Like all the stories. Or a lot of the stories is you have to lose everything, especially Paul. He's like persecuting Christians and he gets brought down to his knees. God meets him on his way to the town that he was going to, and he becomes blind, loses his sight.
Oh, that's good,
literally, bro. He can't even see.
Yeah.
So after that, then he gets his vision back, and he has new vision now. So it takes that, bro. It takes that. I think it's God showed that for a reason. We have to sometimes lose everything so that we can't see completely.
Yeah.
And then kind of rebirth us in a new way, give us a new name, the rebirth, we have to be reborn again, in order to see the goodness.
Yeah.
In order to see God's goodness.
But another thing I'd be thinking, like what you were just saying, being reborn, right? A lot of like what I thought, like, God, I was born to smoke. God, people say like they were born gay or they were born to do this, do that. And like, that's cool. I believe it. Like I was born to sin, but you got to be reborn again. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you were born like that, that's cool. Like I know, like I get you. I know where you coming from, but it's like you got to be reborn again. Like that's where transformation really comes.
Yeah.
And what sucks about being reborn, it's a process, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a one-time thing. Like, boom, I'm reborn again. Let's walk through this. Like, yeah, you're gonna be filled with the Holy Spirit, baptized by the Spirit and stuff like this. But it is a process to be reborn, bro.
Yeah. That's something I love about Pastor Anthony Phillips, because he keeps it real, bro. 100% keeps it real. He's not about the surface level Christian. He's not about, have one introduction to God and then keep coming to church.
Yeah.
He wants to dive in and he wants to show you how hard this walk is.
Oh, yeah.
What it takes to like, it's a struggle, bro.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. No one, and people say it all the time. No one says like, when you give your life to God, everything's going to become easy. But like, what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
That's a very, nowadays, I feel like it's kind of cliche to say, and it's kind of surface level. I could take that and understand like, okay, so different things are going to happen when I, walk with God, but what does that look like?
Yeah.
What is that going to actually like take? What is that going to involve? So I appreciate his realness and how he speaks, and, he paints a clear picture of what Christianity looks like, bro.
He paints a real good picture. He's real raw. Like you said, he shows the realness of the walk. Like, people think you walk with God, it's going to be sunshines and rainbows, bro. But really, it's going to be, just like finding Malta.
Exactly.
Finding that sweet place.
Yeah.
You got to go through a storm.
You got to go through the storm.
And nothing he was talking about, bro, is like, people want to be on the mountain, right? But when you're on the mountain, you can see the valley, bro. You can see exactly what you're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what comes after a mountain is another valley. And what comes after a valley is another mountain.
Yeah.
It's a process. And That's one thing. Only that one thing that made me fall too, bro, was realizing that after a trial, a victory, there's gonna be another trial, bro.
Yeah, bro. I guess for the new Christian, let's say that. For the new Christian, it can throw you off, because you have, let's say you go over, you have your first valley in life, as a Christian.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, like I've heard about this.
Yeah.
I've heard like church has told me I just gotta, trust in God and I'm gonna get over this and we're gonna walk through with God through this. So you go over that and you get over the valley. Now you're on a mountaintop. You're feeling good. You're so connected with God. Next week, the same thing happens. And now you're like, well, what's going on now? Like, it can throw you off. It can throw you off for sure. But that's the maturing. That's the maturing. And I think that really falls into what we're talking about today. You're matured by mercy in those seasons, because in any situation where you have, I'm in a valley and I'm confused. I don't know why God's put me through this. I don't know why He's choosing me to have to go through this. There's always something on the other side of that. There's always something that your struggle is going to be for somebody else. Yeah, pretty much. So that is God's mercy. That is showing when you're in the valley. And then you get out of the valley, then you can look back and say, oh, I know why God was doing that, because He was showing mercy on me so I can be there for somebody else in this situation. It's just a building. It really is. It's a walk, bro. Just like everybody says.
This walk is so not selfish. Like you said, what happens to you, sometimes it's not for you, bro. Like that's one thing I had to realize. I go to church, I'm like, God, like this is so selfish, very vulnerable of me, but like, I'll go up there and I'm just waiting for the pastor to be like, hey, brother, you're called, bro. Like, you're called to like do that in front of everybody. Selfishly, I want that to happen. Yeah. But really, like, that's not going to happen, bro. Like, it can, don't get me wrong. But like, I had to realize this is not a selfish walk. Like, if God saves me, like, yeah, it's for me, but it's not to stay for me. It could be used for someone else, and I can't be selfish just to let it be with me. Be like, yeah, I'm saved now. Yeah. Walk like that,
Yeah, no, I could definitely, I can agree with that. I've definitely have had those feelings too. Like, I want to be called out.
Yeah,
I want to have the spotlight for a second.
Literally, bro.
But I think something that I had to realize, it's just, that feeling is looking for man's approval. Yeah. And something that I had to correct my stance on is I don't need man's approval. I need God's approval. That's what matters the most. Even though my flesh is going to feel a lot more satisfied if this guy points me out in front of all these people and tells everybody that I'm special. But it's knowing God's word. It's knowing what He says about me. Yeah. And that's all really is going to matter at the end of the day. But no, I definitely know what you mean, bro. It's a flesh thing.
Bro, I'd be waiting. I'd be waiting for that moment. I'm still waiting on it. That's come. Probably why it doesn't happen, bro. Because I'm waiting.
Probably, bro. It could be the time where you finally realize, like, you know what, I don't even need that, and then He's like, you.
Yeah. Literally. But one thing you were saying was like, you got to go see what He says about you yourself. Like, one thing that I was talking about on my TikTok was like, go into your closet, bro. See it yourself. Like, people go to church just so they can see God, go talk to God, when really, bro, your closet's right there. You could talk to Him in your closet. One thing Michael Phillips was saying, like, when he first got saved, he got saved in his restroom. He made his toilet seat his altar, bro. Yeah. That blows my mind.
That's crazy.
The place where you use the restroom, you're going to pray to God right there. Like, that's how much he loved God in the beginning. You can meet God anywhere, bro. You got to meet Him right here, like, where you're at. Like, you got to find Him for yourself. The God that we read with signs and wonders, the one who split the oceans, like, He can be right in your living room, bro. And on the toilet seat, bro. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It definitely is that quiet place. Bro. That's where you meet God. I think that is one of the best things that somebody can know as a new Christian. Because it is, especially these churches that are very Americanized. Yeah. It's the hype. It's the let's get involved really fast. Let's get this going. Let's get this feeling going. Yeah. But it's really when you find God, or when you hear about God, when you want to know more about God, it's those quiet places.
But yeah, and sometimes
knowing Him more is in those quiet places.
sometimes that's the hardest part, bro. Is going to the quiet place when you tired, bro. You just got home from work or something, or like you just got done talking to God. You gotta go back to that quiet place. Like it's a sacrifice, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta make room for God for real.
Yeah.
And that's such a sacrifice. Like it's taking a toll on me, but I know God's refilling me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Going back to a little bit about your story, bro. So you've gone through all of these struggles and experiences of, you know, just wanting to fit in, wanting to be that guy, you know, fit in with the crowd.
Yeah.
From then, where do you see yourself in a couple years? Because if we look at your timeline, right? Your timeline was you grew up in church.
Yeah.
You went through a season of confusion and really just finding out who you are.
Yeah.
In the mix of finding out who you are, you were getting attacked and living in the devil's ways.
Yeah.
Truly. And after that, now we're coming now. You kind of found God.
Yeah.
You kind of realize like the way you need. This is how I need to live.
Yeah.
This is how I need to be connected with God. So where do you see yourself in the future? Have you had a glimpse of what you want to do?
No, bro.
Ava,
You want to talk about it?
get down.
One thing I realized, bro, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm called to do, bro. Like, that's, like, one thing I'm just doing right now is just following God. I think I need to take it day by day. One thing about me is, like, I dropped out of college because I would look at what I have to do, look at all, like, the grand spect of it. Like, they would give me, like, the weeks broken down, right? This week we could do this, next week we do this, next week. And I get overwhelmed. I'm like, I can't do that, bro. So I literally ran from it. And so, like, when I think about my life, I look at it, I'm like, that's the hard pill to swallow, bro.
Yeah.
That's so many years of doing this. So I really got to take it season by season, bro.
I got you, bro.
But I guess that's like what you said, like future career. I have my plans, but sometimes it ain't what we want, bro. Honestly. So I'm just taking it day by day, bro. Like right now I'm in a season of like just walking faithfully, bro. Honestly, like it feels quiet for sure from God, but I think that's for a reason. Like he's building me for something.
I could see that on
don't
your
know
life,
what,
bro.
though.
I could definitely see that on your life. There's weight on your words, bro. I don't know if you know that or if anybody's told you that, but there's real weight on your words. I think you have a pretty good way of putting your words together, and I think God really speaks through you, bro. I think I could tell where your heart is, and I could tell by your words, by your stance, by your position. Your words are you're true to what you're saying. I could see it on your life, and I really feel like God is building you up for something. Yeah. I think you're gonna be used for something great. I do see that on your life. I see you getting married. I see there's good things coming for you, bro.
Yeah,
really, really. I see that.
But I got scared because I was reading in the Bible that there was men that got castrated for kings. Yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't want to be castrated, God. Let me have some kids. Let me have a wife, bro, please. Like, please, bro. I don't want to be like Paul. No offense to my brother.
It'll come, bro. I think that's really good that you're taking it season by season. Somebody needed to hear that because there's a rush of life. There's a I need to get this. I need to do this. I got to be here by this age. Take it season by season.
Oh yeah,
I think that's good.
That's good. That reminds me of something, bro. When I first really started seeing God for real, I was like I think the Bible describes this. Someone had to tell me this. You like a wild horse, bro, without that thing in your mouth. Like, calm down, bro.
Yeah.
Like I understand you love God, but that's how you get burnt out.
Yeah.
Like you need to put that thing in your mouth for real.
Yeah.
To guide you to really, because I was scaring people away, bro. I'm like, Jesus, God, like Jesus, this. But I had to calm down.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people need to hear that too. Like take it slow, bro. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got that fire, but you can't just let it burn out so fast because of how big you're trying to make it.
Yeah.
No,
I definitely feel you. You gotta have the fuel. You gotta sustain it.
Literally.
You have to have a sustainable source. Yeah.
That's good. Sustainable source.
Sustainable
That's what you
source,
need.
bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro. I think, like I said earlier, it was really dope. It's really dope to just reconnect with you, bro.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really cool to see where you're at, and just to know, like, I do have a part in where you're at today. Like I've helped you, I've talked with you, I've walked you through things, and just to see God's mercy on your life, just to see where God has taken you, where God has brought you from. Oh my God. Just to see where God has brought you from, it's amazing, bro. It's truly, it warms my heart to see, bro. And I just encourage you just to keep going, bro. 'Cause you're like, you know, you're gonna have valleys.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have times of down.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the thoughts again. You're gonna have that situation again.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going, bro. And you know this already, but I'm always here, bro. For real, for real. I'm always here for
that,
any,
brother.
you know, advice, anything that I can help with, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Any way I can support you in any way, bro. Social media wise, anything, bro. I got you.
Your wife got a sister or something?
No, she don't. Not here. I mean, not a blood sister, but she gonna come, bro. Your wife's gonna come. I promise.
That's what they all say. That's what every marriage couple says. Oh, they'll come.
Because they will, bro. I promise they will. They do, bro. You gotta be patient on that one.
Right.
There's also pray for her, bro. Pray for her and pray for her to come.
You don't think Paul was praying for his wife?
No.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he
he
was-
loved this singleness.
Yeah, I think
I
he
would
was
loved it.
too involved in what he was doing.
Yeah. So,
But nah, bro, I appreciate you. We'll go ahead
of
and
course, brother.
wrap this up. Thank you for coming out here and making the long drive. This dude came from Plainview, Texas. How far is that drive?
Man, 5 hours.
5 hours.
Away, bro.
He drove 5 hours to come out here just to record and hang out with your boy.
Hey, anything for God in the gray area, man.
Yes, sir. But I appreciate you, bro.
Of course,
Thank you
brother.
for coming out here, bro.
Yes, sir.
I love you, dog. I appreciate you guys listening to this episode. Thank you for listening to this whole thing. If you made it to the end, hope somebody got something out of this. And until next time, see things from a higher view. And peace out, y'all.